Hello friends, Miss Natalie here. Today I am going to show you how to do the Krita texture sampler assignment. We're going to start out by making a new file as we do. Make sure it's 1600 pixels by 1600 pixels, and we're going to create. Now the first thing in this assignment is to take the this brush right here, the Basic 2 brush, and change the brush settings to add a pattern to it. Now, in the most recent update of Krita, the edit brush settings is right next to your brush, choose brush preset. So we're going to go right here where it says edit brush settings and click. And I've actually already clicked on pattern. You might not have pattern clicked when you arrive, so you might have to go down and see pattern and make sure it is chosen, the little box, there's a check in it, and then you can choose different patterns. Now one thing about these different patterns is some of them are easy to see. Even if you go over and over and over again, it's not going to get rid of the pattern. Other patterns kind of go into a certain amount of opacity. If you go over and over and over them, you lose the pattern. And they're more suited to a stylus or a tablet. So I'm going to say if you are using a mouse or a mouse pad, not a mouse pad, but a touchpad, then you probably want to choose one of these more obvious and dynamic patterns that will definitely show up when you use it. And there's a scratch pad over here so you can see what the pattern's going to look like. And if you want to get rid of that pattern, you click on the trash can and you can choose a different pattern. That one is not a good one. I'm going to get rid of that. I think I'm going to just choose this one. It stands out really well. So when I'm ready, I'm just going to exit out that, and I want to make the size of my brush fairly large so I can just go zip, zop, zap, and there's my pattern right there. Okay, so that's the first step in the sampler. The second step in the sampler is to choose one of the RGBA brushes, and that's down here in the brush preset docker. So you got to make sure you have your brush presets docker up. And you can see there are a variety of these brushes here that are RGBA, and that means that basically different like shadows and highlights have been already mapped for these brushes so that it will look like actual paint. Let me give you an example. Let's get some red, make it not quite, well, that's actually quite small. Okay, so if we do that, we can see we've got some paint, and it kind of looks like I'm actually painting. There's a number of different brushes here. There's another one that has even more texture to it. So in these, the textures have already been created, and they're there, and we just get to use them, which is awesome. Okay, the final tool that I'm asking you to use for this sampler is a stamp. I shouldn't say it's not a tool, it's a brush preset. So all of these we're using the freehand brush tool, and we're just changing the different brushes or using brushes that already exist. The final brush is a stamp, and there's a lot of different stamps here, and they will give you basically pre-created textures. So if we want grass, we've got a stamp that's grass. And we can make it really big for big grass. And honestly, the grass texture, I should say the grass brush can also be used for like hair. So the texture of hair or fur. And you can choose different colors and lay over it and whoops. And you get just a different depth of texture. All right, so that is it. That is how to do the texture sampler, doing the pattern, the RGBA brush, and using a stamp. So go out, make some art, make your sampler, have some fun.